The plane's cabin was buzzing with chatter, the kind of restless energy before a long flight. A crying child broke through the noise and heads turned with irritation, but it wasn't just one child, it was two. At the back of the plane sat Daniel, a young single father in his mid-30s, struggling to balance twin toddlers on his lap. One was tugging at his sleeve, demanding juice. The other had already spilled crackers all over the floor. Daniel's face flushed red as he whispered soft reassurances, trying to calm them both. Passengers sighed, rolled their eyes, and exchanged annoyed glances. Some even chuckled cruelly under their breath. "Single dad can't even control his own kids," someone muttered. "Should have stayed home," another scoffed. Daniel heard every word, his heart ached, but he pressed on, whispering lullabies to his little ones. He didn't care about the judgment, he only cared about keeping his twins safe, but the weight of those stares was heavy. The plane finally took off, climbing into the skis. The twins settled briefly, their tiny hands clutching their father's shirt. Daniel leaned back, exhausted, when suddenly the intercom crackled. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking," the voice began, calm but tense. "We have a medical situation. If there's a doctor or medical professional on board, please press your call button immediately." The cabin went silent. No one moved. Flight attendants hurried up and down the aisle. Daniel looked around. Surely someone would step forward, but minutes passed and no one did. Then the intercom came again. This time the captain's voice was direct. "Sir, in 23B, we need your help." Every head turned. That was Daniel's seat. Confused, Daniel blinked. A flight attendant rushed over. "Mr. Green, the captain knows your background. We need you." Passengers whispered. "What background is he?" Daniel gently handed his twins to the kind older woman seated beside him and stood, heart pounding. He followed the attendant toward the front, every eye on him now. Inside the cockpit area, a crew member was slumped over, pale and gasping. Daniel's training surged back, the training no one on that plane knew he had. Before becoming a single dad, Daniel had served as a combat medic in the U.S. Army. He hadn't spoken of it much since. Painful memories and a choice to build a quieter life for his children had kept him silent. But in that moment, instinct took over. He knelt beside the man, checked his vitals, and began working with precision. The captain and flight attendants hovered anxiously, following his commands. Minutes felt like hours, but Daniel stabilized the crew member until they could divert to the nearest airport. When he finally stood, sweat on his brow, the captain shook his hand firmly. "Sir, you saved his life. We couldn't have done it without you." As Daniel walked back down the aisle, the same passengers who once laughed at him now clapped. Some had tears in their eyes. The twins, not understanding, reached out to him joyfully as if sensing their dad was a hero. The woman who had held them whispered, "You did beautifully, son, not just today but every day for them." Daniel sat back down, kissed his children's foreheads, and smiled through tears. He didn't need recognition. All he wanted was to raise his kids with love. But that day reminded everyone on board, and Daniel himself, that true strength isn't about looking perfect or pleasing others. It's about showing up again and again, no matter how hard life gets. When the plane landed, many passengers approached him. "I'm sorry I judged you. Thank you for what you did. You're an incredible father." Daniel simply nodded, holding his twins close. And as he walked off the plane, he realized something. Being a single dad was never a burden, it was his greatest calling. And even when the world laughed, he knew he carried a strength that came not from medals or applause, but from love. Sparkle's final message. Sometimes the people we dismiss or underestimate carry within them the deepest courage and compassion. True heroes aren't always wearing uniforms or making speeches. Sometimes they're just tired parents in the back of the plane doing their best until the moment comes when the world finally sees them for who they are.